welcome to Costume Commentary. We are your ghost hosts. I'm Kate.
And I'm Brit. And today we are talking about the television show Salem.
You can't tell it's a witch. So we've already done Penny Dreadful, and now we're doing Salem. And they're both in my top 3 favorite TV shows of all time. The other one is Hannibal, and there might have to be an hour-long episode for that.
Kate absolutely loves the show. I haven't, I've seen it now in order to do the reviews, but I hadn't seen it before. And I thought it was pretty good. I was not as in love with it as Kate. We have 2 different viewpoints on it. Overall, I thought the costumes were really pretty, and they definitely, from what I could see, fit the characters. But as far as historical accuracy goes, it's kind of in a weird place.
Yeah, that was one thing that really bothered me, specifically in the 2nd season, is that not just the costume themselves, but the coloring is not right for America. A few characters who are wearing purple. Purple dyes are actually one of the rarest dyes in the world, and it's very difficult and very expensive, especially at the time, to get them and manufacture them. So people who are wearing all purple outfits in America is a big no-no.
This is obviously what America was new. England was one of the richest countries in the world. And so a lot of the clothes that they're wearing make sense and may have been more appropriate attire for these same characters at that time period in England, but not here.
There's one character who actually comes over from England, and that is Countess von Marburg. She's played by Lucy Lawless. Now, Countess von Marburg is actually wearing a lot of bright colors, and she's wearing a lot of extravagant clothing, and that actually does fit for her status and for where she's from. One of the main things about Queen of Americas was that they wanted to have their very rigid rules about religion. And yes, it was all about freedom of religion, but it was their religion that they wanted to practice. And so anybody who didn't fit in their little box that they wanted kind of looked at weirdly. And so that's actually the big problem with me with Mary Sibley's costumes is she's actually the wife of one of the most important people in the town. And she's wearing these starkly contrasting outfits from what the rest of the city is wearing. You wouldn't want to stick out like that.
Especially in such a religion-based culture. That was another thing that I sort of noticed is a lot of the girls are wearing outfits that they're Puritan-esque. They're very, very close. But they're also sort of low cut. The very first scene of the show, they brand a girl for fraternization outside of marriage, but then watching this happen, you have lots and lots and lots of girls who had their hair down and had tops and the push-up corset. It seemed like a weird juxtaposition, but that to me was they had just modernized it a little bit. It still looks like they look like Puritans, but within context, they probably would not have been wearing those clothes.
Especially if you're a witch trying to hide the fact you're a witch, you're definitely not going to be wearing something that sets you apart from the crowd. Oh, there is clothing made out of human remains. There's a man who lives in the forest, and he has human teeth on his costume. And there are other parts of his costumes and Tituba's costumes that are actually human remains. They also have a hair shirt in an episode, which they don't even mention the fact that somebody's wearing a hair shirt, but they're wearing a hair shirt!
The hair shirt called back to the Bioshock Infinite episode!
One thing I can say about the show is the corsets are on the inside. A lot of the witches things is about being sexual. I mean, Tituba literally gets intimate with Mary Sibley at one point in order to create witchcraft, because witchcraft kind of stems from intimacy of levels.
And being the devil's concubine, that sort of thing. So when the corsets are on the outside, it's usually because the ladies are in some level of undress. One note, as I seem to be the resident menswear observer, there is only one dude who stands out, and it's John Alden. Everyone else is just sort of wearing the same stuff. It's got a little bit of the syndrome of, a lot of other shows where the men are just very, very similar, but also it's Puritan. Puritan is Puritan is Puritan.
There are some characters, especially in season 2, where they do branch out a little bit. One character in season 1 that I actually love his costume is Isaac the Porticator. His costuming is fantastic because he literally looks like it's the only thing that he owns. The Puritans really didn't own much, so when Mary Sibley has a different costume every single episode, it bothers me a little bit, or something's 4 in one episode. But Isaac the Porticator has 1 outfit, maybe 2. Isaac deserved better!
So what's your least favorite?
My least favorite is actually my favorite character. 1 outfit. Anne Hale has a beautiful wardrobe that sometimes is accurate, sometimes is not. Now, her wedding dress is historically accurate, but it is ugly as sin. It is this pastel blue and vintage lace deal that is just, it does nothing for her beauty. It's just god-awful. There's not a single redeemable thing I can find about it. Other than the fact that it's historically accurate, what was your least favorite?
My least favorite, Lucy Lawless's purple outfit. It is just so purple. And it's got this big like fur stole and I'm like, oh. It's very ostentatious, which I'm not a fan of. It just was like too much for me to be into it. Luckily though, we have the same favorite.
Again. That's actually my least favorite character.
Ah!
It is the outfit that Mercy wears when they are parading her around town on a leash with a face mask on so she doesn't bite anybody, and she's pointing out witches. The sheer craziness of it really kind of sets the tone of the show. It looks so gritty. It really accentuates the fact that they've been performing exorcisms on her. They've been bleeding her.
She also just looks so different from all the other women because she's not in a dress. She's in these like bloomer type things.
Yeah. She's in her underwear.
She's in her underwear, and then with like a straight jackety type contraption on top. It's very intense.
Cotton Mathers was actually trying to incite fear. What she's wearing really does incite fear.
Overall, I think that all the costumes are effective, whether or not we liked them or they were historically accurate. They give you a sense of the characters, and that's like what the costume design is meant to do. So I think it's like very successful on that front.
I'm very happy with this show. Like I said, it's one of my top 3. I might have a little bit of blinders on because it's one of my favorite shows.
I don't think so. I think it's good. It's just not my favorite, but I think it's good. As far as should you watch it, I'd say yeah. I think it's a good show. The acting's good. Some of the plots seem a little bit like strange, but it's the Salem witch trials. So if you like this video, make sure to leave a like down below and comment what you thought of Salem and what you'd like to see us review next.
The next video is going to be this upcoming Monday, and it is our special Halloween episode, and it is the all-time amazing Halloween movie, Hocus Pocus.
Yay! A bunch of people requested it, so we're finally gonna do it. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching!
I tried to type Salem when I wrote salami. Alright guys, so to get ready for Halloween, today I'm going to show you how to do a realistic bloody nose. First off, have whatever Halloween makeup that you're going to have on already because it's hard to do foundation over blood. And then first, we're going to add some yellow paint as